Hello and welcome to Vegas Aces. I'm your host, Heather Ferris, and we are joined with a special guest today, Bennie Mancino. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you today?
Oh, great, Heather. Thanks for having me on your program.
Always happy to have you on. I'm looking forward to what we learned today. And today we are going to be talking about players and how to be a better gambler. But before we do, Bennie, do you want to tell people where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on my YouTube channel at Be in the Know. I'm the B man, so that's why it's Be in the Know. And we talk about a lot of different things related to the gaming industry and table games, a lot of table games in there because I'm a table games junkie, self-confessed. So yeah, go to YouTube and check out Be in the Know.
What is it that players could do to be better gamblers? How can you be a better gambler? Like, are you talking about strategies? Are you talking about, what are you talking about?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm really excited about this topic because rarely do people interview me about, hey, what's the best table game out there and this and that. But here is the first time I've ever give away my secrets on gambling to the general public, right? And everybody wants to win. They want to win, but sometimes they just don't know how to get about it. Okay, so we'll go to Benny's tip number one. Okay, avoid letting the psychological effects of the game take you out. Yeah, I don't know. So now I've been around gaming for a long time, 30 years. And the biggest mistake I see is the gambler who thinks, well, I just won 4 times in a row on this machine. I better get up and go because it's going to go cold. That machine, if you know anything about the technology of a slot machine, it could pay off for the next 5 days, 5 years. I don't know. It's ultimately in the long run of its life. If it's set at 98% payback, 2% of all the money it goes in, it's going to be held by the property. But that doesn't. What happens today in this hour, doesn't affect anything else. So there's the problem you get. And another thing is you see the exact same opposite, right? Somebody sees somebody stuff a whole bunch of money into a slot machine and they think, oh man, it's got to be bound with that thing could be deader than a doornail forever. There was a slot machine at the MGM, and I think it was 2 years ago. Maybe I'm time flies, but it was there from the day they opened in 1993. It had not hit its progressive. And you know how many people have played that machine over the years, and they didn't take it out. So they had this whole bank of these lions. And as each of them hit their progressive, they took them out. This thing's still there. 20 some years later, it's not hitting its progressive. And people, like I said, people played, thinking the thing was due. Well, you'd have blown through a whole lot of money doing that. So tip number one is don't let the psychology of gambling take you out of the game.
Yeah, that's a great tip. I love that tip. And the same could be said for table games. When you're on roulette, there's a reason why they put that roulette board on there. Same exact psychology. So I love how that could transfer to table games as well. So what is tip number 2?
Well, tip number 2 would be to know the advantage of the game that you're playing. If you're really serious about gambling and having the best possible chance of winning, you got to know the house advantages. There's a great site. You might know this site, Heather, called the Wizard of Odds. And I don't think there's a game up there. There might be a few that he missed. Maybe Polka Dot Poker ain't up there. Almost every game that's in the national spotlight, as far as table games, is out there. And there's a lot of information on real slot machines, digital slot machines, and also video poker. So you need to know the house edge. I mean, there's some games out there that people just love to play. But listen, folks, your chance of winning them games are very, very slim. People love the big 6 wheel because because it's easy, right? You don't take a mental giant to play the big 6 wheel. You got 6 options there. So you put your money on there. You got very little chance of winning. It's a 14+% house advantage on the big six wheel, depending on where you're paying 45 or 40 to 1 on the jokers on that
Mm-hmm.
game. So blackjack, it can vary. 6 to 5. Oh my God! People sit down on a 6 to 5 game and don't realize, compared to a normal 3 to 2 hits off 17 game, you're giving up almost a point and 6/10 on, depending on the game rules. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's it. Then you got a game like roulette. It has a staggering house advantage of 5.26. So where are you going to have a better chance? Are you going to have a better chance on that blackjack, which is 0.43, not 4%, 0.43, or are you going to have a better chance on roulette? So know the games if you're serious about it. If you're just out to have some fun, play the game you like. That's because they're getting back to the slot machine, and anything can happen in one sitting. Mm-hmm. So if you're not trying to really take down some money and you just want to have a good time, go play the game you like, because you could hit that ultimate Texas jackpot for $350,000. You really could. It can happen. It is not selected to any certain person. It's just going to happen by the game math.
Yeah, definitely. And to add to what you were saying too, I've walked into casinos and literally saw a 0 roulette table and a 0 roulette table, and the 0 roulette table was empty, but the 0 roulette table was completely filled. And I'm just sitting there like facepalm. Like, people just don't understand. You want as close to 0 as possible when it comes to the house edge, and with the 0 roulette game, it's 7.69%. And then if you have the 0, it's 2.7. So it's like such a huge difference.
Oh, it's staggering. And, like I said, anything can happen in one sitting. You could take that 0 down for thousands of dollars. But you know what? You sit there for any length of time, that money's going into the box and ain't coming out.
Yeah, definitely. Cool.
So I'm at number 3.
Yes.
Ready for number 3? So number 3 is money management. And that is the key to gambling, and any whether you're an amateur or just once every month or whatever. It's money management. If you overplay or you over bet the average, you're not going to be there very long. It's just the way it is. And the more we talk about, okay, well, I'm not a professional, I'm going to play a high risk. Well, the more chances you have the winning, the more shot you got to hit in that progressive. But if you take yourself out in 3 or 4 bets, that's it's not going to be conducive to an enjoyable night at the casino. I see so many people, and it used to just baffle me. A guy would come in, he'd buy in $5,000, and his first bet's $1,000. That's 5 bets. Now, some of them got lucky and just stayed there forever, won hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, it happens, but the majority of them are going to go home with nothing, and they're going to go home quickly. So, money management is very, very important. Especially, so say now you've decided you're going to become a card counter, which, you know what, you come to my place, I'm going to throw you out, because I don't have to have skilled players there. That's just the way it is. But you can give it a shot. I really am very, people think, well, man, he's in casino management and he hates all cards. I have the utmost respect for anybody who can sit there and practice and learn that skill. But there again, when people first start card counting, they overbet their bankroll. Mm-hmm. Money management, number 3. That's it, Heather. That's the top 3.
I love that. I really, really love that. And I say that as well. Gambling is entertainment. You have to look at it as entertainment. Figure out how much you want to spend for the night and then stick with that and realize it's entertainment. If you leave with money, if you go home with more money, that's just fantastic. But expect that money to be lost and expect it to be, counted as entertainment money. Not, I'm going to spend my mortgage and try to win enough to pay my bills. Don't do that.
It should always be money that's, you've got set aside for entertainment. And anytime you find yourself chasing, and if you don't know what chasing means, It means you're going to go back to the ATM several times to try to, you're going to try to get even, or you're going to try, don't do it. And you know what? I'm going to add a bonus. You know how Garth Brooks got the extra verse of Friends and Low Places? I'm going to give you the. So this is the final tip. And, everybody says, well, I'm just going to make that one more bet. I'm going to make that one more bet. I want to get to 100. I've got $95 here. I want to win 100. If you find yourself saying that to yourself, or you're going to just make one more bet and leave, get up then, because I've seen so many people blow their whole bankroll just trying to get one more bet. I had a guy come in this place that I worked near a state line in Prima Donna Resorts years ago. He pulls his boat. I can see his boat up there. He pulls up to the valet, and the valet, because he has to go to the bathroom. So he's running to the bathroom, say, hold that seat, I'll be right back. And he's going to make one bet. That's it. I'm only going to make one bet. And he rips out $500. At that time, you could play cash, and he puts $500 down on the layout. And, of course, you know what happened on that hand. He lost, right? So $14,000 later, he finally took his boat and went to Lake Mead and had his picnic, but he couldn't buy nothing to eat.
Oh, my goodness. One bet. Just one bet.
Just one bet. That's all I'm making.
Oh, man. It has been fantastic having you on. Thank you so much for sharing all of this, your stories, your knowledge, everything. It's always so good to have you on. If people want to learn more from you, where can they find you?
Like I said, you can go to my YouTube channel, Be in the Know. I also am on LinkedIn. You can private message me there. I always reply to them, and I try to do my best to do it quickly. And I had a website for my consulting business, which I'll be putting on pause, but it'll still be up. You can go to tgopps.com, TGOPPS, and you can email me directly from there. So any way you want to communicate to me, I'll communicate back.
Fantastic. Thank you again so much.
Oh, anytime, Heather. Really enjoy it.
Thanks. And we will see you guys again next Thursday. Have a good one. Bye.